Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and the a-holes of the Marvel Cinematic Universe now have an attorney at law to be their devil's advocate in She-Hulk Jennifer Walters. But two easy-to-miss details from the second episode now have me obsessed over the exact nature of her work relationship with her new boss at GLK&H, Holden Holloway. Or is Mr. Holloway really her actual boss? Because now we must ask, what baddies from across the MCU might Jen have knowingly consented to representing? Let's look again closely at the moment Holloway recruits Jen at the Legalese bar.
May I buy you a drink?
Sure, I guess. Can I help you?
Yes, there is more to this moment than meets the eye. I don't blame you if you missed it. The bartender holds up a very specific bottle of bourbon. This is Pappy Van Winkle, a 23-year aged bourbon that is extremely rare. Only a few thousand of these bottles exist in the world, and online a single bottle can run you over $5,000, with a single shot from this bottle likely costing several hundreds of dollars. Seriously, this bottle should be in that TBA drawer with the Infinity Stones, or among Makari's collection. That is why you'll notice we get the specific close-up of the bartender giving a look to Holloway to make sure, and Holloway gives him a nod. Clearly, these two pre-arranged to hook up Jen with some tippy-top shelf liquor, and for Holloway to spare no expense. That's why he doesn't really care whether or not Jen hires on her paralegal Nikki, and he sets up Jen with a plush corner office. And this sets up another interesting moment that I keep rewatching from this episode, when Holloway gives Jen a tour of the GLK&H offices, forcing her to Hulk out and parading her around.
You should be able to enjoy the fact that I just got an amazing new job and I can't.
But I'm curious, what do you think about it?
I'm agnostic.
Interesting. Unprecedented for sure. Huh.
I'll spend the rest of the year worrying about what I just said.
Now, I have talked before about this show's interesting specific choice of Jen's fourth wall breaking occurring in context. So this is not like when Deadpool or Zach Morris or Malcolm from Malcolm in the Middle break the fourth wall and no one around them notices or reacts to them and their worlds kind of freeze. No, this is something closer to Fleabag, or the moment Wanda hears Agatha behind the camera. Jen talking to the camera has real-time consequences within her world. She has to take a moment out of her day as time continues to pass around her. Characters notice her doing this and she misses out on stuff. In this case, Jen just told her boss that she was agnostic to some matter and that surprised him. Now, by agnostic, she probably was not referring to the religious definition of agnostic, but rather the more common businessy legal definition. As in, she isn't strictly set on any particular opinion about something and she has an open mind on the subject. And based on Holloway's response, it was something that no one has ever had an open mind about. Now, in case you can't tell by the shows I obsess over, I love adventure. The bigger, the better. Foot chase through a city? Okay, not bad. An evil force is gonna destroy the planet? All right, now we're getting somewhere. The interstellar fate of humanity hangs in the balance? Now that's more like it. Astro Kings is a real-time multiplayer sci-fi mobile game that puts you in charge of the fate of humanity. It's up to you to rebuild your civilization after an enemy force invades your home world and build up a fleet of starships that'll make all the aliens, pirates, and other intergalactic bozos wish they had never opened up their star charts. You can harvest materials, research technology, and recruit heroes from all over the galaxy to make sure that your civilization lasts. And if you really want to take it to the next level, you can create an embassy and join a galactic federation to team with other players. Immerse yourself in cinematic 3D graphics and epic MMO and PvP battles. And right now, Astro Kings is celebrating its 4-year anniversary. From now until August 30th, there will be special pirates and pirate bases spawning in the universe. You'll get the double item drops during the weekend, plus a chance to get a free spaceship and heroes. Download Astro Kings by clicking the link in the description or by scanning the QR code. Use the exclusive code AK4TH and claim these special anniversary rewards. The universe is infinite and the adventure in Astro Kings is never ending, so get on it. Now, I've rewatched this clip a dozen times, and it is impossible to make out what Holloway is saying under Jen's dialogue. His head faces away from camera for most of the walk. He does lean into frame briefly, but his mouth doesn't form any discernible word. However, as Jen reacts to the dodos laughing in the conference room, we do hear Holloway's voice briefly cut in there.
Money.
These dodos never had to deal with this on their first day at work.
Yeah, for some reason Holloway says, oh, money. Now, while you could write this off as maybe the things in Jen's point of view are her biased perspective, including the comic overacting of the dudes in the conference room, but I don't know, She-Hulk hasn't really shifted reality quite like that before. I think these conference room dudes are laughing like that, and Holloway did say the words, money, for some reason. But either way, it sounds like this moment set up a mystery that we're gonna answer throughout the season. All the weird and controversial clients that Jen has accidentally agreed to take on as clients. Now, Jen Walters has represented some controversial figures in the comics, including a 2006 storyline in which Jen represents Eros, aka Star Fox, in a sexual assault case. I know. This was one reason I was shocked Marvel Studios ever brought in Eros into the MCU. Maybe they assumed the beloved Harry Styles could pull off the role in a way no one would really criticize. So did She-Hulk accidentally just say she was agnostic about this kind of Eros case? Doubtful. In the MCU, Eros is definitely still off-world, and I just really don't think Marvel Studios would right now bog this character down in the American legal system with this super uncomfortable storyline. Also, I don't know if Disney Plus shows can handle that kind of watermelon sugar. I'm referring to how much money it would cost to book a world-famous pop star. Get your mind out of the gutter, viewer. But clearly the context of Holloway's question was money. It seems like his question to Jen was seeking her thoughts on whether it was ethical for a law firm to create an entire division using money from a morally cloudy source. It must be that, because yeah, Jen gets a swanky office, and Holloway was willing to drop several G's on 23-year-old Bourbon to get her to sign on the line that is dotted. And the word unprecedented must have referred to how much money Holloway took, who he was taking it from, and what that source is tasking his firm to do. And obviously there are a few options for wealthy crooks active in the MCU in this moment that could be bankrolling GLK&H, and many of those crooks might actually be working together. Since Matt Murdock is confirmed to tie into this series, we have to look at Wilson Fisk. Maya Lopez shot him in the eye in Hawkeye, but based on that happening off screen and his outfit signaling that they're probably adapting that comic run where Fisk recovers from getting his eye shot out by Echo, our boy Wilson definitely survived. And yeah, he is confirmed to return in Daredevil Born Again on Disney Plus, so this She-Hulk series could reveal that it is Fisk, or maybe the Fisk Estate, one of his shell companies, using GLK&H to liberate various supervillains so that Fisk could have leverage over these bad guys as his own personal hired guns. And we also know a similar process is occurring with Val. She is recruiting super assassins like John Walker and Yelena Belova, most likely leading to the Thunderbolts. Val seems to represent some shadowy government agency, and if so, we're talking about the US government. They literally print their own money. So the unprecedented aspect that Holloway referred to could be this law firm taking cash from one government agency to lobby against a more public state authority, the DODC, to subvert their interests. I actually think it's possible that Wilson Fisk and Val are two sides of the same coin. Val representing the deep state backdoor legal arm of the Thunderbolts operation, Fisk providing the funding for it, both of them benefiting from having a disposable team of Dark Avengers to deploy on whatever horrible objective they want to accomplish. So, star attorney Jennifer Walters could provide them some legal cover to try to exonerate criminals like John Walker or Wilson Fisk. This, of course, would be before Jen probably gets wise to how she's being exploited, and I suspect by the end of the season parts ways with GLK&H and launches her own firm, hopefully with Nelson and Murdock. Now, while this She-Hulk series is promising a pretty deep bench of cameos from Wang to Daredevil, it remains to be seen whether these will include Kingpin, Val, John Walker, or of course our daddy Mephisto. But as an attorney at law of the MCU, She-Hulk can now make Charlie Cox and No Way Home sized cameos in any future Marvel title where characters need some legal aid. But just some advice to Jen, maybe steer clear of the Eternal Starship. You don't need to get your hands dirty with that. Hey, you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at EA Voss. Subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. And a reminder to download Astro Kings now and begin your epic sci-fi adventure today. Don't forget to use the exclusive code AK4TH and claim your special anniversary rewards. Thanks for watching. Bye.